Hello everyone, and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today is October 6th, 2025, and we are doing an in-depth analysis of Litecoin, or LTCUSD. The market is absolutely electric right now with chatter about a spot Litecoin ETF, and we've seen some major price moves as a result. In this video, we'll first cover the mountain of bullish news that's been driving the recent rally. Then, we'll jump into the charts to break down the key levels, trends, and what to look for next. First, let's talk about the headlines because they are overwhelmingly positive. The biggest story is the imminent approval of a Litecoin ETF. Prediction markets like Polymarket are now showing a staggering 96% probability of an ETF approval in 2025, up from 90% just a week ago. This anticipation has fueled a roughly 16% surge in Litecoin's price over the last week alone. Bloomberg analyst James Seifert noted that while the SEC's deadline was technically missed due to the government shutdown, a launch is still expected very soon. This ETF hype is not just speculation, it's backed by serious market data. CoinGlass reported a massive spike in LTC open interest to over $970 million, its highest level since September. Furthermore, in the last 24 hours of that surge, we saw nearly $800,000 in short liquidations, indicating bearish traders are feeling the squeeze. Analysts are now in a frenzy, with some making incredibly bold predictions. One prominent analyst suggested that once Litecoin breaks $150, a move to $1,500 is certain, drawing parallels to Bitcoin's historic breakouts. Another mega bullish take predicts prices in the high five digits within 6 to 9 months of an ETF approval, citing the unlocking of immense institutional demand. We're also seeing strong fundamental growth, with over $100 million in institutional commitments and Litecoin being integrated into the treasury of a publicly traded company. With all this bullish news as our backdrop, let's see how it translates to the price action on our charts. Looking at the daily chart, we can see the broader story of Litecoin over the past year and a half. After a significant downturn in mid-2024, where the price fell from the $80s to find a hard bottom around the $56 mark in August, we began a slow and steady recovery. The real fireworks started in November 2024, with an explosive move that shattered the $100 resistance and rallied all the way up to a peak near $147 in early December. That rally was followed by a healthy, albeit sharp, correction throughout December and early January, where the price found strong support right around the psychological $100 level. From January to September of this year, we saw a long period of consolidation and accumulation, with the price building a solid base above $100. This brings us to the present action, where the price has decisively broken out of that long consolidation range. Now let's switch to the 1-hour chart to get a closer look at the recent surge that the news has been talking about. I'm filtering the chart to show the action from October 1st onwards. You can clearly see the powerful impulse that began right around the $106 level. This move was swift and decisive, blasting through resistance levels at $110, $112, and $115 with significant volume. The price topped out just above $124 a couple of days ago and has since entered a period of consolidation. This sideways price action is classic behavior after a strong upward move. The market is essentially taking a breath and digesting the recent gains. We can see a clear short-term support level forming around $118, which the price has tested and held multiple times. The resistance is clearly defined by that recent high near $124. Switching over to the 15-minute chart, we can examine this consolidation range in even greater detail. For the last 48 hours, Litecoin has been trading in a tight channel, primarily between $118 on the low end and about $124 on the high end. This tightening range suggests that a decisive move is building. Traders are clearly waiting for the next major catalyst, which all signs point to being news related to the ETF. A break above the $124 resistance on this time frame would be a very bullish short-term signal. Conversely, A break below the $118 support would suggest a deeper pullback could be coming. Okay, let's pull back out to the daily chart to recap and discuss what comes next. Based on the news and the technicals, the sentiment for Litecoin is undeniably bullish. The key price levels to watch are critical right now. Immediate support lies at the $118 level, followed by a stronger zone between $112 and $115, which was previous resistance. Below that, the $109 level, noted as the 50-day EMA in some reports, and the major psychological level of $100 are your key defensive lines for the bullish trend. On the upside, immediate resistance is the recent high around $124. A confirmed break above that level opens the door to targets mentioned in news reports, such as $135. The most significant hurdle after that is the major resistance zone between the previous high of $147 and the psychological barrier of $150. So, let's talk about probabilities. The bullish scenario seems highly likely. I'd give it an 80% chance in the near term. This would involve breaking $124 and targeting $135 and then $150, reinforced by any positive news on the ETF front. A final, confirmed ETF approval would almost certainly act as rocket fuel for this scenario. The bearish scenario, which I see as a much lower 20% probability, would likely be triggered by a surprise ETF rejection or a prolonged, multi-week delay. In that case, a failure to hold the $115 support would be the first major red flag, potentially leading to a retest of the $100 support zone. In the very immediate short term, we could see continued consolidation in the current range while the market holds its breath for an official SEC announcement. Keep a close eye on that $118 support and $124 resistance to signal the next short-term move. That's our analysis of Litecoin for today. The situation is extremely dynamic with the pending ETF news, so expect volatility. Trade smart, manage your risk, and keep those key levels on your radar. Thank you for watching Explain the Charts. Please remember, this video is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice. You should always conduct your own research and consult with a professional before making any investment decisions. Good luck, and we'll see you in the next one.